and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Right, Ryan Downey is already taking bets on how long this will take. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is with you. It's a bit overcast and muggy here on the south coast of the UK. It's warm. It might rain in the next hour or so. We are in France. And in 2 minutes' time, all the cyclists are going to go off on their virtual Tour de France Stage 4 Discovery ride. But we are going to stand at the start line and we are going to exit the event. And when we've exited the event, we will then change to run mode and we will run up Ventop, or Ventop as it's called in Zwift. So this is the one of the brand new Zwift worlds. There are two new Zwift worlds, Paris and France. Don't ask me why they're separated, they just are, okay? They're separate worlds. At the moment they are event only, but they will be on full rotation in the coming weeks. But people are getting a chance to ride on them now. Certainly France this week, and I think Paris in a week or two's time. And the Tour de France is on, the virtual Tour de France is on, and as well as the Tour de France, there are these discovery rides. So you've got the L'Etape, which is like the public version of Tour de France, which anyone can ride. They're the races, and then you've got these discovery rides as well. So lots of people are getting the chance to ride. There's Ventop, look. A lot of people are getting the chance to ride on the new France course this week and last week. And we are going to be, I think, probably one of the first people to run up the mountain. This is the biggest mountain in any of the Zwift worlds. It is 1,500 meters high. Scott, hello Scott. Scott says, can you get Zwift to automatically change incline on the treadmill? No, you can't. Zwift has not implemented that feature yet. They could do, and the MyRun treadmill certainly would be able to do that, but it isn't implemented yet, so you have to do it manually. Right, the cyclists are off in a minute. I can keep an eye on how high I'm climbing on the Zwift app. I'll show you that in a second. Hello Tina Beard, hello Jean Wunderwald. Yeah, he says incline must be set manually. See, right, they're all off now. The cyclists are going. Let's just change to, hold on. Right, so all the cyclists are going. Now you can see at the bottom left of the screen here, we have quit event. Okay, there's me, looking all sorrowful and lonely. So I'm going to quit event. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes, I am sure. So I'm now out of the event. Now, unfortunately, I'm on a bike. We don't want to be on a bike. So let's go to menu. And let's go to pair. Now, I just want to do this a second. I want to get some power. So I'm going to get my stride. Now, which is the one I want? I think it's that one there. No, it's that one there. Should we do AMP Plus or should we do... Oh, do we do AMP Plus or do we do Bluetooth? Let's go with AMP Plus. Let's go with AMP Plus. So I've got my Stride foot pod on. I'm not using the Stride foot pod for speed or distance. I'm using it for power. I just want to have some power numbers. So I'm using the little trick where you set your power meter in the ride section first. So it's got no signal, but we'll hopefully, there we are. And now we change over to run. And we've got the MyRun connected. Let's get some heart rate going. Sorry, I haven't set this up, bear with me. So I'm clicking virtual run on my Phoenix 6. It's searching for heart rate. There it is, it's got it. So we've got that. Andrew Cutmore says, how far is it? It is 21 kilometres. We have a half marathon to do. This is going to take 3 to 3.5 hours. So please, if you need to go and have your dinner or do whatever you need to do, don't feel like you've got to stay with me, honestly. Right, let's get moving. Let's get moving. And we are going to follow the incline, but what we're going to do is we're going to average it out. So the average incline for this climb is, what is it? It's 8%. But I can check on my phone, so hang on a second to show you this. So here's my phone, and you'll see here 0. So that 0 is my elevation so far. How many meters have I climbed? That is what I'm going to be checking to make sure I've climbed at least 1,500 meters by the end of this run. Now, LS Shom, I think I've worked out his first name is Louis, I think. I have some bread and honey for watching you. Have fun on the Ventop climb. Are you planning on doing all the climb? Also, as I'm in Chamonix, do you have any tips for trail running? Oh, mate, if you're in Chamonix, you don't need any tips for trail running. Just get out there and climb up those hills, climb up those mountains. Beautiful place to run. Beautiful place. So go and do that. No tips at all. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Just be careful. we need to make sure that we go the right way. So we're going that way. We're turning right instead of the Casse Pass, whatever it is, route. You turn left, but we're going up the mountain, so we're turning right. And essentially the climb starts straight away. So let's just have a jog. Oh, and also, please don't expect me to be going fast. I'm going to be going uber slow, seriously slow. Lewis, didn't you commented on one of my activities, and it has your name on there, I think. Let's set a target as well. So we want it to be build your own in miles. No, kilometres will do. 21 kilometres. 20.6, 21.3, that'll do. It's going to be a very, very slow run. Some of it will be walking. If I get hungry or thirsty, you will find me stopping the treadmill and going into the kitchen to get some food or drink. Ryan Downey is quite correct. Lewis, forget about this stream, mate. Just seriously, get out there, go and climb some of those beautiful mountains in Chamonix. I assume you've seen my CCC video from 2 years ago. Right, so we are going to be climbing 1,500 metres at a percentage grade of 8%. And that's kind of starting now already, so we are going to be slowing down in a second. So if you're just joining, this is France, and we are running in France. This is the first time I've run in France. I have cycled round the course once, but I've not run in France, so this is the first time I've run in France, whatever. And we are going to climb what is now the highest mountain on any Zwift world. So it was, up until now, it was the Alpe Zwift, which is a 1,000 metre climb, but we now have Ventop, or Ventop, which is 1,500 metres. It's 21 kilometres to the top. So I will be going slow enough to chat, so if you want to ask me questions, if you want to say hi, please do. This is going to be as easy as I can make it, given that we are going at 8% elevation in a minute. Should be 5% now. Right, we're now at 8%. So there will be some sections of this which are more than 8%. So look, this one, it's gone up to 9% now, for example, but I'm going to stay at 8%. And I'm just going to keep going at this elevation all the way up. And when we've got to 1,500 metres, hopefully that'll be the top. And LS, okay, Louis, no problem, not Lewis. Louis, I'll remember that. Christoph says, is France open to everybody? Yes and no. There are rides that go into France, so you can join the L'Etape Tour rides or the Discovery rides, Tour de France Discovery rides. Anyone can join those rides, and anyone can ride in France, but you can't just choose the world and go onto it. You have to join it as part of an event. Now, what I've done, and I've checked with Zwift HQ. They've given me the okay to do this. It's perfectly okay to do this. I have joined a group ride, but I've exited the event once I'm in the France World, and I've changed to run mode, and I'm now running in France. And I'm already thinking I'm going to have to turn the fan on pretty soon. Now it's fairly flat at the moment, and I'm on 8%. I wonder what happens if I just run to the start of the official segment climb, the com climb, at 1%. Would that be... I don't know. Oh no, I'll just carry on as I am. So it's going to be a long old climb, this. A long old climb. Jim Haysom says it won't stay flat for long. He rode this at 10 PM Sunday night. It gets easier in the last third apparently. Well, it won't do for me because I'm keeping it on the same elevation all the way up. So I'm keeping it at 8% all the way. I wonder, should I go higher elevation for the first 2/3 and then ease it off in the second then? In the last third? Yeah, I can't do 8 minutes per kilometre. I don't want to do 8 minutes per kilometre, Louis. I'm going to do 7 kilometres an hour. So it's 8:34 per kilometre. The last person to message on Facebook, Mohd. I'm sorry, I can't understand your language, and Nazrul as well. I hope you're talking to each other. Christophe, there will be running events on France in the next 2 weeks. Where are we now? I can't remember where we are now. 14th, so yeah, 2 weeks time there will be a Zwift race series held in France, so you can get to run on the France course. Right, I am going to put the fan on now because I'm already quite warm. Pretty muggy here. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. Okay, I'm currently on 53 metres climbed. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. And we don't stop until we get to 1,500 metres. In about 3 hours. Depending on how much I walk. What happens if we get to 1,500 metres before the top? That's the question. Do I keep on going at 8% elevation, or do I run flat to the top? I'll probably keep on going. So at the moment it's fairly barren, green fields and countryside. Nothing terribly interesting to look at just at the moment. And a lot of people have said it's very much like Harrogate in North Yorkshire, or also a little bit like the Surrey Hills on the London World. nice flowers. Oh, I know what I'm going to do when we get to the top as well. When we get to the top, I'm going to get onto the bike and freewheel it all the way down. Louis says you should stream the companion app so we can see the map, because my webcam is blocking the map. You're correct. Wanda, you can do it if you want. Wanda Archer says she may have to give this a try. Just join one of the group rides, join one of the group events, either the L'Etape Tour de France or the Tour de France Discovery rides. You start on the bike. You don't have to have a bike, just have to be in bike mode. And once the event starts, you click exit event and change to run mode, and away you go. Louis, it won't work. It's because of the way my stream is set up. I'll work on it for next time. You can see the map now though, look, there you go. So we've got a big left turn coming up. In a minute, I imagine that left turn will be the start of the steeper climbing. But we're already on 8% elevation. I'm on 85 meters climbed. Chris Nolan makes a very good point. See, the thing about Zwift is everything is still very much cycling orientated. And we do hear talk from time to time about partnerships with marathons and such like. And I know that Zwift have talked to Hugh Brasher, who is the organiser of the London Marathon. It would be great if they could expand New York, London and Paris to take in the marathon courses, the complete marathon courses for those races, for those runs, yeah. I think it's probably still a little way off. It would, it's going to take a bit of work to create those courses, create those worlds, and I think Zwift will want to see a bit more in the way of user interaction, so bigger numbers basically on the running front before they start investing a lot of time and manpower in building run-specific courses. But if they do happen to get some sponsorships, some partnership deals with New York Marathon, London Marathon, Paris Marathon, any of the majors, Paris is not a major though, by the way, but any of the major marathons, then we might see some movement. Goran, hello to you.
Nice.
So nice and easy, a long way to go. We're doing a half marathon. This will be my third half marathon in 4 days. So I did a half marathon on Saturday, I did a half marathon on Sunday, and we're doing a half marathon today. So 3 half marathons in 4 days. So we just need to take it easy and just concentrate on the climbing. Try and relax, keep the heart rate low, And we have, if I stay like this, I mean, I imagine at some point I'll start walking for a little bit. And I imagine we've got about 3 hours of work ahead. So I'll be here for a while. So go and do what you need to do. Come back and join me every so often. Hop in and say hi. And then I'll expect you back here at between 8 and 8:30 for the big finish. Louis, no, they won't stop running. Well, you can never say never, but seeing as they are introducing rowing very soon, rowing will not have anything like the numbers that running has already. So if they keep rowing, they've got to keep running. I just cannot see a situation where they'll say there's no point in having running, even if they keep it really low level and do it for free with no subscription charge. There's no way they'll just. What would be the point of getting rid of running? I cannot see it. You know, especially seeing as they are trying to expand into other sports like rowing. So Eric Min has already said rowing will be coming in the next few weeks. It is imminent. Louis, there is already a rowing course on Watopia. If you search on YouTube or on Facebook for Zwift Hype, Hype, Zwift Hype, and search for rowing, and you'll see some video of the rowing course. And it's been a possibility for about 2 years now. But in an interview this week, last week, Eric Min, the boss of Zwift, confirmed that rowing will be coming in the next few weeks. So I imagine in the autumn, in the fall, September time, August, September, we'll see rowing. And what you will do is you'll use your Concept 2 rowing machine, and your rowing machine will send a Bluetooth or an ANT Plus signal to Zwift. You will spawn onto the water and you will row in the same way that you run. People already do rowing on Zwift. They use their Concept 2 rower, but in the game they are on a bike. Nick Campbell says your ass needs a bottle of water and a shower. At the end, yes. A big bottle of something to drink and a shower at the end, yes. Not yet though. Don't need any of that just yet. 20 minutes gone. Running is okay at the moment, feeling fine. 2.3 kilometers done. 8% elevation, 8%. So that's the average grade of the whole of Ventop. And we will get to 1500 meters by the end of the run. So the grade currently is 3% in game, but because I'm averaging it out, I'm at 8%. But there will be points on the run where the in-game percentage is maybe 10, 12, 14%, but I'll be staying at 8%. Chris Nolan, yeah, it won't be long before the Tokyo course is out as well. I'm sure there'll be a Tokyo course. And that is, in fact, that's a very good point actually, Chris. That is probably why rowing is coming soon. Because they will use rowing as part of the collaboration with the Tokyo Games, won't they? Good point. Well made. currently at 162 metres. Here you go. Hang on. Let me slow down and stop so you can see it properly. Right, oh, hang on. Right, so there it is on that side. So that's my elevation constantly going up as I climb. So 167 metres now. So we'll get back up to 7 kilometers per hour. Carry on running. Joe Bro, hello, on YouTube. Started watching a week ago and I'm addicted. Great work. Thank you very much. You've inspired me to start running after a 5-year break. Amazing, wow. Would you recommend treadmill or outside running to get going? Well, if you have a treadmill, there's no reason why you can't use it. So if you've got a treadmill, get on there. But if not, go and find, I don't know where you live, but go and find some countryside and go and run in the fields, go and run on the trails and breathe in the fresh air. Try and make it a nice sunny day and just go and do 10k on the trails somewhere in a country park somewhere. You'll enjoy that. Or go by the sea. If you live near the sea, go and run on the seafront. Just start slowly. Don't do too much too soon. Just run so you enjoy it. Don't run so you feel like you're, putting pressure on yourself. Louis says, I love rowing. I row at my school club. And do you need a treadmill to row? No, you would use your rowing machine. But your rowing machine needs to be one that broadcasts either a Bluetooth or an ANT Plus signal. So most people use something called the Concept 2. Concept 2 is a rowing machine, very popular, well-known rowing machine that will broadcast a signal that Zwift can read. Ryan makes a good point. Ryan says running on the treadmill was a game changer. Nice and flat, so I could just work on consistency and form without the environment. So treadmill running is great for concentrating on your running form. You don't have to worry about crossing roads, traffic, tree roots, stones, anything that gets in the way of your running. So if you want to concentrate on trying to improve your running form, then treadmill is great. And also treadmill is not so hard on your knees, your legs in general, as running on a tarmac road or a concrete road. Louis, yes, it would. It would work straight. The Concept 2 broadcasts direct to Zwift. Right, so we're not going to the aqueduct. Oh, hang on. We're not going to the aqueduct. Oh, we are. Oh, we're not. No, come on. There. To make sure it doesn't change. See, that's my camera angles doing that. I have this automatic button pressing software and it changes the camera angles, but when the directions come up like this, unfortunately the button pressing to change the camera angles inadvertently changes my direction in the game, which is why sometimes when you're watching me running Monday Run Club or Wednesday workout or whatever it might be, you'll see me suddenly disappear and go away from the main group. And it's because my camera angle's button changer has accidentally sent me the wrong way. Chris Nolan says, I look forward to the Zwift upgrade to the HUD, the heads-up display, to include power readings for runners. I'd like to see that, yes. I can't guarantee that the new user interface, which is coming, again probably in the autumn or in the fall if you're in America, I can't guarantee that will include power. I hope so. What I'm hoping is that it will be very user specific, so you will be able to choose what things are displayed on screen. And if you want to, I'm hoping that if you want to, you can completely blank the screen and just have the environment. So no runners or riders on the right hand side, no map, no splits. You can just completely get rid of all that, like you can do to some extent on the iOS app. On the iOS app, you can swipe to get rid of those things on the left and right hand side. So I'm hoping that in the new version of the UI that you'll be able to choose, you'll be able to like just press a select box to choose what things to have displayed on the screen. And I'm really hopeful that power will be one of those things. But there's a possibility, quite a large possibility, that it won't be, because there are still a lot of things to sort out with power. In terms of things like this, gradient, Zwift, rather the stride won't know that I'm going uphill. So it won't be able to adjust my power for that. And a few different things that mean that power isn't necessarily going to be correct in Zwift. Greetings from Guatemala. Hello, Munoz. Juan Munoz. Louis, he says, if I update Zwift, can I row? No, not yet. You can't do it yet. You just have to wait for... Well, I tell a lie. You can do it, but you'll need to look at the way to connect your Concept 2 rower as a bike in Zwift. So you could row, but your avatar would be a bike cycling up Zwift, on Zwift. Carl says what bug are we talking about? Hang on. John Brown says 10k. I'm not anywhere near that currently. I need to ease myself back in. Does Zwift have any training plans? Yes, it does have a couch to 5k style training plan that you can look at, and yeah, I mean, just start off really slowly and just do 1 or 2 kilometers. Do run walk. Zwift has a run walking group. Ryan Downey and Ryan Perring also run a group called the Beginners Hack Run, which is on a Thursday evening, and you could join that really, really slow run that you can just take it easy. You don't have to do the whole thing, just run for 1 or 2 kilometers, rest, walk, no pressure. Carl, I've not followed, sorry, I must have missed something that you said, because you said they fixed that bug. They said they fixed that bug in the latest release, but I'm not sure what bug you're referring to. Hello to Vivek, says go, 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 thank you. Ryan Millerick, dang, this thing is crazy. It's good. Ryan, if you're new, this is Zwift Running. It's so easy to get set up with Zwift Running. Here's what you need. Firstly, access to a treadmill. It could be at home or at the gym, but any treadmill will work with Zwift. To get you moving in game, we need a speed source. Traditionally, we use a foot pod like the Zwift pod or the Stride, but you can also use the Run Smart treadmill sensor, your Apple Watch, one of the newer Garmin watches, the TSS app, and if you have a smart treadmill, your treadmill will connect directly to Zwift without the need for another device. Now simply download the Zwift app onto a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. Finally, pair your speed source in the app. Pairing heart rate from your watch or a chest strap is also a great addition to Zwift. And that's it. You're all set up for solo runs, solo or group workouts, challenges and real-time racing on Zwift with people from all over the world. Okay, so welcome to Zwift. Welcome to the brand new France World. So this is the first time that we've been allowed to see the new France World. This is our first run up the highest mountain in any of the Zwift worlds. It's going to take us a long time to get up there, at least another 2.5 to 2:45 hours, 2 hours 45 minutes, and we are nearly 4k in, 3.8 kilometers in, and we're starting to get now to some steep climbing. At the moment we're in very pretty countryside, but it will get a bit more rugged as we get higher up the mountain. Currently we're on 271 meters climbed, and we're not stopping until we've done 1,500 meters of climb. So that's nearly a mile up into the sky, 1.5 kilometers into the sky. And we're watching Facebook chat, I'm watching YouTube chat and Twitch chat as well. We're also live on Twitch. So hello to you. If you're watching on Twitch, you can message me and say hello. Goran says, what's the best heart rate monitor? Well, a lot of people are raving currently about the new Wahoo heart rate monitors. There's one, an arm strap. Ryan Downey, can you remind me what it's called, please? I'm sure there's a new Wahoo heart rate strap, which everybody is... The new ticker ones, of course, they're the new ticker ones. So they used to have the ticker X and the ticker Run, which was the old heart rate straps, and just recently they've released the newer version. And I think there's an armband one, but also the chest straps. Very good heart rate monitors. If you're looking for a heart rate specific monitor, then get one of those. I'm just using my watch, so I just use the optical heart rate from my watch because I find it to be perfectly adequate. A lot of people will argue with you and tell you that chest strap is much more accurate, and that may be, but I don't care, because as you can see, I'm very confident that the heart rate data I'm getting at the moment is accurate. You can see that I'm talking, I'm chatting away, I'm not in any way particularly fatigued. I will be in 2 hours time, that's for sure. But from a cardiovascular perspective, I'm able to chat to you without too much bother, and that is reflected in my heart rate, which is currently in zone 2, green, 133 BPM. That is exactly where you would expect it to be for this particular point in the run. Louis, yeah, Wahoo ticker, thank you. John Brown says, what are the run walk runs? So Ryan Downey has said pack beginners step by step is at 8 o'clock UK time on a Thursday. And what's the other one? Rowena, was it Rowena's run walk club as well? Kenneth Scrum says, are you climbing Ventop? Yes, I am. So this will be the first running ascent of Ventop, as long as I get to the end, as long as there's no dramatic disaster, either technical or physical. Either I'm going to have a heart attack or fall off the treadmill and break my leg, or for some reason Zwift crashes and we can't complete it. Provided none of those things happen, I think this will be the first official climb of Ventop by a runner on Zwift using full elevation. So what we're doing is we're averaging out the elevation. So I'm going at the average elevation, which is 8%, rather than constantly having to change the elevation grade, which at the moment is 9%, but we have been running at 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 7% early on in the run. I've just kept it at 8%, which is the average percentage climb for the whole climb. The whole climb is a half marathon, 21 kilometers. LS, thanks for the ride on.
Ride on!
And Bart van Vegel, thank you for your ride on as well. Ryan says you're in amazing shape. I don't know about that. I'm all right at the moment. I'm not the fittest I've ever been, but I'm able to do this at the moment. Yeah, so not too bad. This will be my third half marathon in 4 days. I did a speedy one on the flat on Saturday outdoors. I did a slower one on the hills on Sunday outdoors, and this one climbing up Ventop on Zwift. Nick Inwood says, I have a treadmill coming soon, bought running trainers, socks and t-shirt, have a Garmin. Other than a foot pod, is there anything else you'd recommend for either Zwift or for running? It kind of depends what kind of running you're going to do, Nick. If you're going to go outdoors and do trail running, or if you're going to stay on the roads, and how far you're intending to run. But for Zwift, all you need is the treadmill and the foot pod. Now, if you're going to run Zwift on your iPhone or your iPad, you might want to hook it up to a TV screen. I've got a nice big TV, you can see now on the screen my nice big, I think it's a 37-inch screen I've got in front of me, and that immerses you in the running, in the world of Zwift a bit better than just on a tiny iPhone screen. So if you're going to run Zwift on an iPhone or an iPad, maybe try and hook it up to a big screen. And same with a computer. If you're running Zwift on a computer, try and get it hooked up to a nice big monitor or a TV screen. You might want to have a look at the best foot pod that you can get. So if you've got the Zwift pod, which is the kind of budget foot pod, once you get into Zwift, you might find that you need to upgrade to a slightly better running pod. So a lot of us use something called the Stryd foot pod, STRYD. The Stryd is a really accurate, really good foot pod, but it is expensive. Outdoors, nothing but your watch and your t-shirt and shorts, and you'll be fine. If you go a little bit further, if you start running long distance, you might want to look at getting a backpack to carry water bottles and your phone and bits and bobs. But don't worry about that just yet. Just get out, enjoy your running. Louis, no, I do not have a date. Go and look up Oh, who did he do it with? Go and look up Eric Min interview on Google, and you'll find the latest interview he's done with a magazine. I can't remember who it is now. If anyone knows, do drop it into the chat. And he mentions it on there, but he doesn't give any specific dates as to when rowing will be available on Zwift. But my guess is it will come in the autumn or before Christmas. If he said a few weeks, it's got to be before Christmas, hasn't it? Nick Lawton says it makes a good point, get a decent fan. So if you're going to be running indoors, you especially in the summer months when it's warm, you probably want to get yourself a decent fan to cool yourself down as you run. I've got mine in front of me now. A lot of Zwifters use the Honeywell fan. So search Honeywell on Amazon and you'll find some fans that are very popular with Zwift runners and riders. Andrew Cutmore, I bought my latest Zwift pod off Amazon. Came the next day, pretty quick, but it is expensive. You just have to, if you're really into Zwift, if you're really into your running, the Stride is a really, really good investment. I mean, not only do you get really accurate distance and speed and pace and cadence, but you also get the added extra of the new metric of power. Power is a really interesting way to monitor your effort in a race or in your training. Flattens out the hills because obviously if you're using pace, you're going to slow down when you go up a hill or you're going to speed up when you go down a hill. So your pace isn't consistent, but with power you can keep it consistent. So if you want to aim for 200 watts for the whole run, your 200 watts should stay the same whether you're going uphill, downhill or on the flat. So yeah, Andrew, just look on Amazon. So current profile says 6% elevation. Looking at the map, it looks like it's really depressing. We've got such a long way to go. We are now just over 5 kilometers in, so we've got a good 10 miles left of climbing. Basically, we are running at 8% elevation for the whole way, so we're averaging out the Ventop mountain to its 8% average grade, and we're just doing that for the entire half marathon. If I can keep it up. I may have to walk at points when I get really tired. Later on up the climb, I'm going to be quite tired, so I may be walking a little bit. So we're not matching the elevation grade point for point. Currently 3% elevation. Richter, thank you for your ride on. Hello, camera 2. I don't often say hello, camera 2 anymore. Hi. We're live on the Zwift Run Live YouTube channel. We're live on the Film My Run Facebook page. And we're live on the Zwift Run Live Twitch channel over on twitch.tv. Welcome along to Zwift, welcome along to the brand new France world. We're climbing up Ventop, which is part of the Tour de France course. And this is a brand new world to Zwift. This and Paris two separate, currently event-only worlds. But this is the first time that anyone has managed to run up Ventop. Daphne, hello. This is called the My Run treadmill. It's by a company called Techno Gym. So look up Techno Gym My Run. As it sounds, M-Y-R-U-N. John Brown says, are you running Zwift on a PC? If so, what are the settings? Screen resolution, frames per second. So, yes, I'm running Zwift on a PC. I have it set at its highest mode. So within the Zwift settings, you can go. Hang on, I can show you. We're gonna be here for a while, so let's just do a few things. So if we go to menu, and we can go to settings here in the bottom right-hand corner, and here we have game resolution. So you can, depending on the power of your computer, you can set it to low, medium, high, ultra, or 4K UHD, which is what I've got it on. But you can only, if your computer isn't powerful enough, then it won't give you the option to set it to 4K UHD. It'll basically just set it the highest that it can possibly go. We're currently broadcasting at 60 frames a second. The game is running probably around 100 frames a second. It varies a lot, obviously depending on the graphics that are being displayed on screen. I do have a program which tells me what the frames per second is, but I haven't got that running at the moment. I'm not going to start it just because this is such a long run. I don't want to do anything that's going to risk the program, the Zwift game crashing. So I'm not going to do anything that's going to risk a crash. Andrew says, when is France and Paris available on Zwift for runners? So, I don't know exactly about Paris, but for sure, at the end of this month, so the last week in July, there will be a Zwift Run Series event, probably more than one, Zwift Run Series race in France. So runners will have access to France at the last week of July. But what I'm doing is not exclusive. Anyone can do this. So if you can, what you can do, if you want to run on the new France course, all you have to do is join one of the official Tour de France Discovery rides or Tour de France L'Etape races. They're cycle races, but you don't have to have a bike. Log into Zwift, log in as a cyclist, select one of the L'Etape events or the Discovery events based in France. When the race starts, obviously you won't move on your bike, you'll just be stationary at the start line. Click exit event, click yes when it asks for confirmation that you want to exit, and then you will be sat on the road as all the other races go off. Then go to pairing mode, go to menu and then pairing, change from bike to run, from ride to run, and you will be a runner in France. And this is not breaking any of your terms and conditions. You're perfectly okay to do this, and that's what I've done. I did check with Zwift HQ and they confirmed that it was fine to do this. So I've got the green light from Zwift HQ and there's nothing to stop you doing the same. If you want to run in the New France world right now. Jeff Partridge says he's tuned in late. What am I doing? I'm practicing for. I'm not even going to say it. I'm practicing for Everest. I'm running up Ventop, Jeff. So this is going to be the first official ascent of Ventop by a runner, I think, unless somebody else knows somebody who's already done it. I'm using average elevation of 8% grade, and yeah, we're running up the mountain. So it's going to take at least another 2 hours 20 minutes or so. It's a half marathon basically, and we've done 6 kilometers, so we've got another 15 kilometers, just under 10 miles left to do. Going at a nice steady 7 kilometers per hour, and it's still very green and lush at the lower part of the mountain. When I say the lower part of the mountain, we are seriously still quite low down. Currently 450 meters elevation climbed. 450 meters climbed. So not even half a kilometer into the sky yet. Not a third of the way through. But it won't be long. Won't be long before we're at 500 meters. That'll be 1/3 of the climbing done. And compared to some of the ultra races I've done over in Spain and France, that is mild. So I am not particularly worried. I think we should make it with no problem. It's just going to take a while. And that's my ultra running story in a nutshell, to be honest. Shouldn't be any problem, it's just going to take a while. I think Jeff would agree with that, wouldn't you, Jeff? Vidar says good luck with the quest. Thank you, Vidar. Louis has just checked with Zwift Insider. Go and look at Zwift Insider, by the way. Hang on. Not that one, not that one. That one, there you go. So Zwift Insider, if you don't know, is a website run by my friend Eric. And Eric works very hard getting all the latest news, all the latest hacks, all the latest gossip about Zwift and putting it on the Zwift Insider website. So all the news you could possibly want, cycling, rowing, running, will all be on Zwift Insider. Jeff, I'm just talking about my ultra running mantra. Talking about doing this particular session today. I've just said I'm not particularly worried about whether we'll finish. We'll get it done. It's just going to take a long time. And then I kind of applied that to my whole ultra running career in general. I'm not worried about getting it done. We'll do it. It'll just take a while. And I said that you would probably agree with that.
Ride on!
Vidar, thank you for the ride on, buddy.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Thanks, Raj. Coming up to 6.5 kilometers done of our half marathon up the Ventop climb. The biggest climb, the highest climb out of any of the Zwift climbs. Louis has said is it rude to ask how much your treadmill costs? No, not at all. I think when they first came out, they were about 3,500 UK pounds. I think you can get them for about 2,500 UK pounds, so $3,000, something like that. Yeah, Jeff Partridge says, one foot in front of the other, don't think any further ahead than that. still feeling pretty comfortable, and we're approaching 1/3 of the way in. Heart rate is still in zone 2, which is perfect, and we're running at 7 kilometers per hour and coming up to 1 hour done, coming up to 1/3 of the climbing done. So pretty much bang on at the moment. Right, there you go, 500 metres climbed. There it is, 500 metres climbed on the Zwift companion app, 501 now. So we are just about 1/3 of the way up. I mean, it may be a little bit more, maybe a little bit more than 1500. So Paul Shafi says the current price of the Techno Gym My Run is £3,250 UK pounds, and yeah, that's probably something to do with lockdown and low value of the pound. Yeah, so yeah, not quite as cheap as I thought it was. But it is a really good quality domestic treadmill. So it's not a gym grade treadmill, and you can kind of tell that a little bit when you get up to the top speeds, 18, 19, 20 kilometers per hour. If you're running any distance at those paces, you will find that this treadmill does start to shake a little bit. Now, it's fine for me because very rarely do I run at that speed for any length of time. You know, 200 meters maybe at top speed. If you are a really top quality club runner, UK national kind of level club runner, and you can do a half marathon in 1 hour 10 minutes, for example, then this is probably not going to work for you, and you'll probably need something a little bit more sturdy and robust so you can do 19, 20 kilometers an hour for, you know, a few kilometers without it shaking so much. But, you know, generally at 15, 16 kilometers an hour with my weight, it's perfectly stable. Louis is off to have dinner. Take care, buddy. We were due to come to Chamonix at the end of August. At the end of August. But obviously we're not now. But we will be in Chamonix next year. So if you're still watching the stream, it'd be good to come and say hi to you. You can find us some cheap places to stay in Chamonix. How about that? Enjoy your dinner, Louis. Take care.
Nice!
Right, 1 hour done. Over 500 metres climbed. We're going up. It's a lot of grass. TDS Smackdown. Got to finish it this time, next time. Definitely going to be trained up for that. That's got to be the A race next year, Jeff. TDS, Chamonix, August 2021. It's going to happen. When I get to the top, in about 2 hours' time, I'm going to get on the bike and I'm going to freewheel it all the way down. Although unfortunately I might not be able to do it on camera because at the moment I haven't got a camera pointed at the bike. That's a bit annoying. I'll see what I can do. We'll sort it out when we get to the top. And that is a good 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 15 minutes away. So go and do what you need to do. Check in with me every so often, say hi, and come back at the end at about 8 p.m. this evening. I can't do the Arc anymore, I'm not allowed. I don't know what my winter A race will be. Long straight bit of road. Coming to a bend though, coming to a right hand turn. Brianna, we're okay. So we are a third of the way through now. 550 metres climbed. And zone 2 heart rate is looking good. So nice and comfortable. We've done 7.5 kilometres. So one third of the way through the climb to the top of Ventop in France. Daphne says I'll make it look easy. Well, wait a couple of hours. You'll see how easy it looks when I get to the top. I won't look this good when I'm not saying I look good now, but I won't look as good as I do now when I get to the top, that's for sure. All you have to do is go and look at my video of when I climbed up the Alpe Zwift for the first time using full elevation. I was absolutely wrecked when I got to the top of that mountain. So we'll see what it's like in 2 hours from now. Neil, it's only a half marathon. So I'm running to the top, which is 21 kilometres. And then I'm going to cycle back down. Well, I say cycle, I'm hoping to just freewheel it all the way down. Get a load of free XP points. Another really useful website is Zwift Hacks. Certainly if you're running Zwift on a PC or a Mac, there are lots of little tips in here, lots of useful little programs to help you get a little bit more out of Zwift. Neil, we're doing all right at the moment. As you can see, heart rate is 126, so comfortably in zone 2. So we want to keep it in zone 2 for as long as possible, really. When we get to 2/3 of the way through, so about 14 or 15 kilometres, if I'm feeling good, I might just speed it up a little bit, and then we might head into zone 3. But this I'm using as a kind of a long run with keeping the heart rate in endurance and fat burning zone. Ryan Downey says, graphically, are you seeing 8%? It looks flat until your cam turns sideways. I'm seeing incline. Certainly looks, see, like that view there, certainly looks like I'm climbing up. Currently the elevation is 9% on the map. So yeah, I mean, you know, it certainly doesn't feel like 12%. I mean, normally if I'm doing a serious hill session, I'll stick the treadmill up at 12% elevation and do maybe 500 meters climbing at 12%. I certainly feel like it's a lot easier than that. 8% is a lot less taxing than 12%, that is for sure. And I'm quite happy with the way it's going. Right, elevation has gone up to 11, now down to 10%. So, you know, I'm quite pleased that I'm keeping it at 8% and just averaging the whole thing out, because changing elevation all the time, up and down, 1, 2, it's just be a pain in the backside. It's going between 9, 10 and 11% constantly at the moment. Jeff, no, I know he started yesterday. So Jeff Partridge is talking about John Kelly, who, if you know John Kelly, is one of the only 15 people to have ever completed the Barclay Marathons. He's also the current champion of the Spine 270 kilometre race across the Pennine Way in the UK. He's American, but he currently lives in the UK, works in Bristol, and right now he is trying to beat the fastest known time for the Pennine Way. So essentially the same course that the Spine is run on, basically is the Pennine Way across the spine of the UK, and he's currently trying to beat the FKT on that. He started yesterday morning. No, was it yesterday morning? Yeah, I think it was yesterday morning. And but I haven't kept up with where he is. 268 miles, Pennine Way, says Jeff. Thank you. Foxwell and not fast. Who's that?
Hamilton!
Oh.
Nice!
Hang on a minute.
Right on!
S, not fast, just persistent. Well done. Thanks for the ride on. Jeff, I don't know the Spine course well enough to know where Cauldron Snout is. But Jeff says he's currently slipping against his target. Okay, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for John Kelly, who is also currently planning to do an attempt of the Grand Round as well, which he tried a year or so ago and DNF'd. What he was doing was the Grand Round, which is three most famous rounds in the UK, in England, Scotland and Ireland. So you've got, oh, now I'm going to get this wrong, aren't I? The Paddy Buckley round in Scotland, the Bob Graham round in England, and I can't remember the one in Ireland. Jeff will tell me. Or is it Wales? You're going to have to tell me, Jeff. I can't remember what they are. Anyway, he was cycling between them. No, it can't be Ireland. It must be Wales. He was cycling between them. So they're all ultra runs, which you're supposed to try and do in under 24 hours each. So he's doing one of them in 24 hours, then cycling to the next one, doing that in 24 hours, then cycling to the one after that and doing that in 24 hours. I'm not explaining this very well, but go and look up the Grand Round UK Ultra. Jeff, I will do the spine one day, but it's not quite. It's just still not quite on my radar.
Right on.
Herbert Crabell, thank you very much. So I think what we might do, when we get to halfway, I'll stop the treadmill, just nip into the kitchen and grab myself a drink, and then carry on. Owen Thomas says, good evening, Stephen, keep up the good work. Thank you very much, I will do. Not far off halfway. Another, what, two or 3 kilometres to go? And another 100 or so metres of elevation to climb.
Nice.
Charlie Ramsey, that's it. Okay, let me try and explain this again. So our friend John Kelly, one of only 15 people to have completed the Barclay Marathons and current champion of the Spine race. He has a plan to do the Grand Round, which is 3 rounds. It's the Paddy Buckley in Wales, the Bob Graham in England, and the Charlie Ramsey in Scotland. So those 3 rounds all are fell running races, fell running routes, in which you have to climb a certain number of peaks within 24 hours. And so you do one of them in 24 hours, then you go on to do the next one in 24 hours and the next one in 24 hours. And John Kelly has a plan to do them all and cycle in between them all, which is madness. He tried it once and didn't get to the final round. The Charlie Ramsey in Scotland didn't make it. Right, 9 kilometres done. 1.5 kilometres and then we are just about halfway. When we get to halfway, I'm going to stop, I'm going to jump off the treadmill, go and get a drink, and come back and we'll start again. Literally 2 minutes. 2 minutes into the kitchen, just grab yourself a drink, come back out again, and we'll get going again. Heart rate is looking good. So currently in zone 2, and we've been in zone 2 for almost all of the run, and that's where I would like to stay for most of the run. Kevin says, are these courses available on Apple TV? Yes. So you have access to the same courses on Apple TV as you do on the computer. And the only thing is that the France course that I'm currently running on is not yet available for anyone to run at any time. It's only available if you enter a specific event, and those events are currently cycling events. So you have to enter one of the cycling events, and if you want to run, you have to exit out of the cycling event. Once the event has started and you're sitting stationary on your bike in the virtual world, you then have to exit the event, which will leave you again sitting on your bike in the France world. Then you go to the pairing screen and change from ride to run. And once you go back, you'll find yourself standing as a runner in France, and then you can do what you like. Daniel Roma says, what type of percentage are you doing? So, good question. I am sticking at 8% elevation all the way. So this course, or this mountain, fluctuates quite rapidly. So it's going as high as 12%, and currently we're on 7% elevation, according to the map. Now, if I was to continually change the elevation on the treadmill to match the elevation grade that the course is giving me, I'd be changing all the time, and that's a total pain in the ass to do. So the average grade, the average elevation grade for the whole mountain is 8%. So that's what we're doing. Currently, I'm on 700 meters of elevation, so approaching halfway. The whole thing is 1,500 meters of elevation, and I'm hoping to do it in about 3 hours. So we're about 10 minutes away from halfway, and about just over 1 kilometre away from halfway.
Nice.
The terrain does seem to be opening out a bit now. So fewer trees, more open sky, and hopefully we'll get some nice views soon.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Day One Fitness, thank you. So 9.5 kilometres done, about 1 kilometre to go, and we can kind of call that halfway. We're making a little bit of progress now. Daniel says low HR today. Yes, I'm keeping it low. I'm trying to make sure that I don't creep anywhere near zone 4. I don't mind if I start to get into zone 3, that's fine. But this is a long old run and a fair old climb. So we're keeping it in endurance zone, in fat burning zone, in long run stamina zone. You really need to be doing a lot of your runs like this. A lot of your training runs, I would argue between 70 and 80% of your weekly training should be in zones 2 and 3. Especially if you're training for a marathon or an ultra. So I'm at 8% elevation, but I'm only running at 7 kilometers an hour. 7 kilometers an hour. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's pretty slow, isn't it? So I am keeping it easy. I'm sure somebody uber fit, somebody fitter than me, will be able to blast up this mountain at a much faster pace. But it's just a case of getting it done today. It's annoying that we will not get the achievement badge for this. I have to cycle up it to get the achievement badge. You don't get the achievement badge for running up this mountain. Marty Gorman says keep going. Daniel says yeah, long distance should always be low HR. Always have issues doing that and often end up in zone 4, even on 20k plus. Well, I guess it depends how fast you're doing it, doesn't it? I mean, you know, if you are ending up in zone 4, Daniel, maybe you just have to slow down. Just, you know, some people feel embarrassed by going slowly, but you've got to just sometimes say, you've got to be really disciplined. You know, I could try and impress everybody now and bump the speed up and kill myself. And that would be one kind of training, you know, that would be a threshold run or even an anaerobic run if I got into zone 5. But there's no point in doing that. You're just risking injury, you're risking burnout. Majority of your running really needs to be slow and easy and steady. And that builds good, strong foundation, base fitness, base physical, muscular fitness, base aerobic fitness, cardiovascular fitness, which enables you to go longer and also faster when you have to. So I guess just slow down. Right, that's 10 kilometers done. Coming to a switchback by the looks of things. Current course profile is 11% grade.
Right on!
Peter Byrne, thank you very much for your ride on. So there's the 7%. There's the 7 kilometers per hour, and there's the 8% grade. Ryan Downey says, one thing I wish somebody had told me was how long it would take to reach the level of fitness I desired. Yes. So there's a classic thing of wanting to do too much too soon. It takes years to build up that base fitness, that base aerobic fitness and muscular strength, which prevents injury, which enables you to run longer and harder. And like Ryan says, he thought it would take 1 or 2 years. Says it's taken 5 years. And I guess the same for me, really. But it, you know, it kind of improves all the time. So every year, you have an extra year of solidity to your muscles. You know, your muscle memory is better. And you know, you could almost just turn up and run a marathon on a whim. It wouldn't be very fast necessarily, but you could bang out a marathon if you had to, because your base fitness is kind of just there. You've got the muscle memory from all those years of running. Neil Messenger, yes, 8% on the treadmill. So think of it like this. If let's do the maths easier. If I had it at 10%, for every kilometre I run, I would climb 100 metres. So it's basically a 10% grade. Every kilometre would be 100 metres. So for 5 kilometres, I would climb 500 metres. So I've got it set at 8 kilometres, and we are coming up to halfway. So that's 10.5 kilometres. And I have currently climbed 787 metres. So let's get to 800 metres. We'll get to 800 metres climbed, and then I'll have a 1 or 2 minute break. I'll go and get a quick drink. Surfeek says, nice setup. Thank you, buddy.
Nice.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
So gradually climbing Ventop in France, one of the new worlds on Zwift. This is the first ascent of Ventop by a runner using full elevation, as far as I'm aware. If anybody else knows of anyone else who's done it, then let me know. I know loads of cyclists have already been up here, tons of them, hundreds of them already. But I don't think any runners have done it, certainly not at full elevation. Nice ruin up ahead there. Okay, so 10.5 kilometres is halfway in terms of distance. I think we're over halfway in terms of climbing. So there is, that number there is 802 metres climbed. So 802 metres climbed. And we'll just stop the treadmill. I'll go into the kitchen. I'm just going to grab myself a drink and get back out here. Give me 2 to 3 minutes. Bear with me. Okay, we're back. Headphones back on. That's why the app's gone off. Right, back up to 8% elevation. We'll just walk out for a bit while I have my drink. I've got two drinks actually. I've got a lemon juice with ice, which I'm trying to cut back on milk. I drink a stupid amount of milk, as many of you will know. Come on, heart rate. Let me just get heart rate back. Hang on. Come on, HR. Right, there it is. Oh, still not there. Come on. Why is it not there? Oh, there we are. Right, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, I drink a stupid amount of milk. And I do think it probably isn't great to drink quite as much milk as I do. I get a lot of my protein, a lot of my fat content, good fats from milk. But I do probably drink a bit too much milk. So I'm trying to get on to more water. So this is lemon squash. And it is very refreshing. Right, let's get back to running. We are now, well, I'm hoping we're over halfway. If I look at the map, it doesn't look like it. But in terms of distance, if it's a half a marathon, 21 kilometres, well, we're over halfway. 10 and a half times 2. Pretty simple maths. We should be just about there. But yeah, looking at the map, it doesn't look like I'm halfway. Anyway, let's get back on it. 7 kilometres an hour. Climbing up Ventop on the new France World in Zwift. Live running on the Zwift Run Live channel, the Film My Run Facebook page, and on the Zwift Run Live Twitch page.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
According to my clock, so we've done 1 hour 35 minutes, and if I stayed at this pace for the rest of the run, we'd be finished in 1 hour 29 minutes from now. So I am hoping that we are done by 8:15 this evening. UK time, 8:15. That's a nice ruin on the left-hand side of the screen. Getting better views now as we climb higher. I'm sure that is there on the real Ventop, but I don't know what it's called. If anyone wants to look it up and tell me, please do. "11 kilometres done, 10 to go." no, that hurts. That hurts. That was painful. You see, that's what happens when you start to mess with the buttons. Stuff goes wrong. That's an interesting view. I should just leave the buttons alone. It's so easy to get set up with Zwift running. Here's what you need. Firstly, access to a treadmill. It could be at home or at the gym, but any treadmill will work with Zwift. To get you moving in game, we need a speed source. Traditionally, we use a foot pod, like the Zwift pod or the Stride, but you can also use the Run Smart treadmill sensor, your Apple Watch, one of the newer Garmin watches, the TSS app, and if you have a smart treadmill, your treadmill will connect directly to Zwift without the need for another device. Now simply download the Zwift app onto a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. Finally, pair your speed source in the app. Pairing heart rate from your watch or a chest strap is also a great addition to Zwift. And that's it. You're all set up for solo runs, solo or group workouts, challenges and real-time racing on Zwift with people from all over the world. Right, I just want to draw your attention to the tower over on the other side. So, to the right of me now, that tower there, can you see? It looks like there is a trail path up there. Wouldn't that be awesome if that became a trail run? Look, and there's a turning here. I wonder where that goes. I wonder if that goes to the castle, to the ruined castle. I wonder if they're building some trail runs in for runners or mountain bike routes for mountain bikers. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Now, why am I suddenly getting loads and loads of Bluetooth dropouts on my heart rate? It was dead solid, wasn't it? All the way until I went in for my half-time break. And now we're suddenly getting lots of dropouts. Not great. I bet it was rock solid connection until I went into the kitchen. And then since I've come back, we're now getting lots of heart rate dropouts. Murphy and Tonya Page, thank you very much for the ride-ons. Cheers, guys. Well, we're well over halfway now. We're definitely halfway up. Thank you, Emily. That's Emily Balshaw. Giving me a ride on there, thank you. Ryan Downey. No, funnily enough, she's out doing a half marathon as well at the moment, so she's outdoors doing a real half marathon in the real world. Tina Beard says her Apple Watch drops out constantly and she says she's giving up with it. Well, normally, see, it's really annoying because I've just had a conversation online on the Stride Facebook page saying that I find Bluetooth connections to be more reliable than Ant Plus connections. And Gus Nelson from Stride was saying the opposite, that he finds Ant Plus connections to be more reliable than Bluetooth. So it's a bit disheartening to now see a few Bluetooth dropouts from my heart rate. I have to say, honestly, my Bluetooth connections for me are always far more reliable than Ant Plus. Kevin says, after the Tour de France activities, is Zwift going to let us free run on the various courses? Yes they are. So both France and Paris will be on normal rotation after the Tour de France. So sometime in August, both France and Paris will be on normal world rotation as guest maps, guest worlds to run on and ride on. Nick Lawton says Bluetooth has been better for me as well. Good. I'm glad somebody agrees with me. I did a whole video on why Bluetooth was better than Ant Plus. The thing is, the cycling community love Ant Plus. Now look, here's another turn off. So one there, although that doesn't seem to go anywhere, but there's another one on the right here. Could it be? Look, they've got cycle tracks. Could these be mountain bike routes that could also be... Look, that surely that's future expansion. Mountain bike rides and trail running routes in France. It's got to be, hasn't it? It has to be. Come on. And if it's not, come on Zwift. That's what those roads have got to be. They've got to be opened up as mountain bike and trail running routes on Zwift. Right, here we go, 12 kilometres done now. We are now counting down. 9 kilometres left. Going at a steady 7 kilometres per hour. Heart rate is 134 BPM. Comfortably still in zone 2. So a nice steady run, not taxing the cardiovascular system too much, just giving it a nice steady workout. Building our aerobic fitness, building our base strength. There's a fast flowing river going down the mountain. I wonder if we're going to get to the snow soon. We've climbed 920 metres. So we've got to hit some snow soon, I would have thought.
Ride on!
Thank you, Ollie. Ollie's 6 years old. And Ollie joins in with quite a few of our track sessions on Zwift. So good on you, Ollie. Thanks for the ride on.
Thank you.
Look, another mountain bike trail up ahead. So look here, on the right hand side, there is another trail with mountain bike tracks on it. Future Zwift expansion. There it is. Can you imagine freewheeling down a mountain bike track like that? Just taking in a bit of the road and then sweeping back off again onto the mountain bike track. Some hair-raising jumps, and especially with steering control as well on your bike. That would be awesome. And as a trail running route as well, be amazing. Right, I'm keeping it at this pace, so 7 kilometers an hour for at least the next couple of kilometers. And then I'm feeling pretty good, so we could up the pace a little bit to 8 kilometers an hour. See if I can manage that for a little bit. If not, I'll bring it back down again. But we'll just try and see if we can do the last 7 kilometers a little bit quicker. So 8% grade and currently 7 kilometers per hour. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I hate telling you to do this, it's so cheesy. But if you can subscribe to the Zwift Live channel, the Zwift Run Live channel on YouTube, that'd be great, thank you. I feel like a proper YouTuber when I tell people to subscribe and click the bell to be notified of all my future videos. What a load of rubbish. But you know, thank you all the same.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Nice helicopter view there. The river running down on the right hand side. Beautiful. But despite the dropouts, despite the heart rate dropouts, I think you can agree I am using optical heart rate. So the optical sensor on my watch to give me heart rate. And I said this earlier on, but I'll say it again now. I'm chatting away to you, I'm talking. I'm breathing fairly comfortably. So I think we can arguably say that the heart rate that I'm getting from the optical sensor is perfectly acceptable. Loads of people will tell you that a chest strap is the only way to go. A chest strap is far more accurate than optical heart rate from your wrist. But it simply isn't. Well, okay, look, it may be slightly more accurate, but not to any degree that we need to worry about. Perhaps if you're an elite athlete who's being monitored by a scientist, maybe it might make a difference. But for you and I, basically mid-pack runners enjoying our running, taking it relatively seriously but not uber seriously, the heart rate that you can see there on my screen is perfectly acceptable for anyone, really. And We're in zone 2 at 138 beats per minute. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm fairly comfortable. Certainly nowhere near zone 4. You know, look, we're just touching zone 3 there. Look, there we are, level. Yellow in zone 3 there. For half a second. And there we are, 13 kilometres done. 8 kilometres left. We'll stay at this pace for at least another kilometre. Get 2/3 of the way through.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Aldridge, thank you very much. Okay, slow down. Walking pace. Oh! There we are, 1,000 kilometres climbed. Not kilometres, 1,000 metres climbed. Okay, so we've done 1,000 metres. We've probably got just over 500 left. Excuse me. Took a bit too much of a gulp then. Back to running. Matthias says he agrees about the heart rate. He sometimes uses his ticker and a Phoenix 5, and maybe 1 beat per minute difference, he says, he reckons. So yeah, there we go. But I'm not denying, quite often when I am running a bit quicker and I start a run, Monday run club, Wednesday workout, run in the park on Saturday, whatever it might be, quite often it does take 1, 2, sometimes 3 kilometres for my heart rate to settle down, so to speak, to a correct reading. I'll accept that that is a problem, but quite often, if you don't wet the connectors on a chest strap, you'll get the same with a chest strap. You'll get erroneous heart rate for the first couple of kilometres until you start to sweat a bit, and then the connectors stick to your chest a bit better. Okay, we're approaching another turn, following the river. You can't see it because the camera is over the top of the map. But I can see that we're following the river. We're going to turn left in a minute. There we are, there's a nice view. Heart rate's dropped out again.
Ride on!
Westwood, thank you for the ride on. And I think that's Jeff Heisler as well.
Ride on!
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Ryan Downey says 2 hours, woohoo!
Summertime! Nice!
Okay, yeah, 2 hours done. Approaching 2/3 of the way through. It looks like I've got at least another hour and 5 minutes or so to go. And 13.8 kilometers. So if we're correct, and the distance is a half marathon, which I'm pretty sure it is, checked it on Zwift Insider's route description, and it's 19 kilometers from the bottom of the comm to the top of the comm segment, and from the start pens to the top is 21 kilometers. So we are very near to 2/3 of the way through. And we've climbed 1,063 kilometers so far, meters so far. Still on 8% elevation, currently 15% grade on the actual map. Oh, now it's down to 12. 11, 10, so it fluctuates all the time. There's no way that I would want to keep changing the elevation all the time. Much better to leave it at the average grade for the whole thing, so we don't have to touch it at all. I'm getting a bit annoyed about this constant dropout of my Bluetooth heart rate signal, which up until halfway was perfect. No, I didn't notice any dropouts at all. And then the minute I went in the house for a drink and came back out again, suddenly it's dropping out all over the place. Anyway, live with it, get on with it. Passing another marker. So that says 974. Is that the elevation there? 974. So we've already done 1078. So I've already done 100 meters more than you would do if you were following the actual grade of the climb. Pretty amazing to live in those houses, wouldn't it? If I'm honest, I think I might leave it at this pace for another 15 minutes, maybe even half an hour, and I'll speed up for the last half an hour. Let's say I just don't want to go too hard. Really just taking it really easy.
Right on.
Mole, thank you. I think that's Daniel. Is it Daniel Mole? So less than an hour left. Less than 1 hour of running to go before we reach 21 kilometres. And hopefully that's the top of the mountain. When I get to the top, I am going to jump on the bike and freewheel all the way down. Suffice to say, I probably won't be working too hard tomorrow in Wednesday workout either. But I might give this Spanish 5k a good old hard blast on Thursday. Are we going to see some snow at some point? Look, another bit of mountain bike trail there. Still at 8%. Still at 7 kilometers per hour. it does appear like the France world is well and truly open. I mean, there are over 1,460 people on the France world at the moment. Okay, that's at 974 as well, so obviously it isn't the elevation. But you notice it did say 6%, so that is the elevation grade, the incline of this particular section of the course, and you can see that reflected on the map there, 6% top right in yellow. It's 15 kilometres done, so we have 6 kilometres left to go in about 54 minutes. So what I think I'll try and do is I'll speed up later on. I'll try and get this done in under 3 hours. So currently 2 hours 11 minutes. So I'll speed up and try and get it finished in under 3 hours to the top. And then we cycle all the way down. Eric, thank you for the ride on. So that's Eric from Zwift Insider. Remember I talked to you about that earlier on. This website, if you go to Zwift Insider, that's run by Eric. Heart rate is still looking good, 133 zone 2. Despite the horrible, annoying Bluetooth dropouts, we still have a decent average HR. waiting for the snow. 15.5 kilometres in to our climb up Ventop in France, and we still haven't got any snow, and we are now at 1,190 metres, nearly 1,200 metres into the sky with no snow yet. Come on. Matthias, can you turn off the graph? I don't know if you can turn it off. Matthias Topping is suggesting turning off the heart rate graph so that I can't see the red line, which is irritating me so much. But I don't know if you can turn it off. As we were talking about earlier, that would be a great addition to the new UI, is to be able to turn everything on and off if you want it. Christoph says, still going strong. Keep going. Yeah, I will. Less than 1 hour, but less than 50 minutes now. And hopefully less than 45 minutes, if I can manage to speed up a bit. Pressing G on the keyboard. Let me have a look. Oh my God, Matthias, you are a star. Buddy, that is awesome. So there, you learn. See, I've been on Zwift. I've been on Zwift for 5 years. And you learn something. Every week you learn something new about Zwift that you didn't know before. And there we are, pressing G on the keyboard gets rid of the graph. Nice one. Shut up, Brian. You know I know nothing. You know this. I don't know. I just don't play around that much. I mean, to be honest, I have pressed a lot of the buttons before. I just didn't know that did that. There you go. Oh well. It is classic Stephen. If you want to know anything about Zwift, just come and ask me. I am your technical Zwift expert. I've been on Zwift for 5 years. If there's anything you want to know about Zwift, I will tell you. I'll tell you exactly how to work the entire thing. I know all the ins and outs. I know all the secret tricks. I know all the technicalities. So just ask me anything. Honestly, it's fine. I know it all. And you lot keep your mouth shut. Okay. So we're coming up to 10 miles now. 10 miles done. And 3 to go. Well, let's just get there first. 15.9.
Right on.
Paul Deering, thanks for the ride on.
Right on.
And Powell, thanks for the ride on as well. Right, we'll just slow down here. And I'm going to have another drink. So, 10 miles done, or 16 kilometres, just under 10 miles, not quite 10. 5k to go, just over 5k to go probably. 1,231 metres climbed. Christoph says, are you going to pass the remembrance point as well? Not sure they made it. I think they did. I think they have made it. But I don't know where it is, so you'll have to, if we're getting near to it, you'll have to point it out to me. No. So in my glass, Ryan, I have lemon squash, although I've drunk it all now. Lemon cordial, concentrated juice. So you put a little bit of juice in the bottom and fill it up with cold water. Very refreshing, but I'm out of that now. And in here, it's not Huel, just milk. Right, we just passed a sign. Just passed a sign that said 5 kilometres to the summit. Oh, Ryan, I'm so sorry. I still haven't done it, have I? Yeah. Discount on Huel as soon as I get... you'll have to send me a message when I'm sitting on my sofa one day and I'm doing nothing. And remind me to go onto the Huel website and get that discount code, or the discount thing. Stephen Smith says, what percentage incline are you on and what are you climbing? So, before we get running again, I shall just tell you. So, this is the new France world. One of two new worlds, so France and Paris. Don't ask me why they're not linked together, they're just not. So this is France. And this is a very famous cycling climb from the Tour de France Ventop. And it is now the highest climb on Zwift, the toughest climb on Zwift, 1,500 metres of elevation, and it's a 21 kilometre run or ride from the foot of the mountain to the top of the mountain. And I am doing it at 8% grade, 8% elevation. So the course profile changes quite a lot. Currently it's 5%, but it's changing all the time. And I don't want to spend time constantly changing the elevation. So I have set it at the average grade for the whole climb. And the average grade for the whole climb is 8%. So that's what we're on. That's what we're staying on from the bottom right to the top. And we have climbed 1,252 metres, so we have about another 300 metres left to climb, 5 kilometres left to run, and we are now going to speed up a little bit and try and do the last 5k a bit quicker and get it done before 3 hours if we can. Let's see how we do. So we're now running at 7.5 kilometres an hour, and that gives me a finish time in about 39 minutes. So that's still not going to be quite under 3 hours. So maybe if I feel better, if I feel good in about 2 or 3 kilometres, we'll pump it up again to 8 kilometres an hour and try and do the last 2.5k. Try and see if we can get it slightly quicker, get under 3 hours for the whole thing. We'll see. Okay, so Christoph says the monument is 1 kilometre short of the summit. Okay, so when we get to 20k, we need to start looking out for this memorial for Tom Simpson. Matthias says, no snow, looks like global warming to me, pretty realistic. And Ryan Downey says he's not going to harass me while I'm sitting comfortably on the sofa. He much prefers to do it whilst I'm running. I love you too, Ryan. Okay, really feels like we are making headway now. We're getting there. 4.5 kilometres to go. 300 metres left to climb. And Louis is back. He says, push on all the way to the top. He says, didn't you say you were going to ride down? Yes. So when I get to the top, I'm going to try and turn the camera around so that you can see me. And I'm just going to freewheel on my bike all the way from the top down to the bottom. So I'll try and stream it. Yes, Louis, I'll try. If I can't turn, I should be able to turn the camera around. But if I can't, then not a lot we can do about it. So, because we're going a bit faster, if my heart rate doesn't keep dropping out, you should see it start going into zone 3 now for the last 4 or 5k. Peter Barlow says, can anyone run the tour? No, you can't run the tour, Peter. You have to be on a bike if you want to do the tour. But what I've done is I joined the tour on my bike, but the tour doesn't come up here. The tour is not coming up the mountain today. The tour is going around the flat circuit of France. But I got off my bike, changed to run mode, and decided to go my own way and run up the mountainside. Full permission from Zwift HQ to do this. So we're all golden. No worries, we're not breaking any terms and conditions. It's all legal and above board. So you can immediately see now, look, my heart rate is 143. We are working harder. And of course, the higher we get, the less oxygen there is to breathe. So we're consuming less oxygen, so less oxygen going into the bloodstream. It's making it harder to run, harder to breathe as we get nearer the top. And it's also colder up here as well. Good views though, but no snow. Oh, that's very kind of you, Louis. I can't do it right now, but I will. We are ticking off the kilometres. 17 kilometres done. 4 left now. 1,311 metres climbed.
Nice. Hammer time.
Louis, you mean on Zwift? I think the furthest distance anyone has run on Zwift is 160 miles. Can't tell you the speed. And for the life of me now, I've forgotten her name as well. I did an interview with her. It was about 2 years ago. It was a lady. And she ran 160 miles on Zwift. Peter Barlow, yes, I've got incline at 8%. So that is the average grade for this hill, mountain. So currently it's 6.7, 6% grade at the moment. So I'm set at 8, but sometimes the grade goes to 12, 10, 5, 4, 14. So it's all over the place. So rather than constantly changing the incline on my treadmill, I've just set it to the average grade for the whole climb, which is 8%. Escalera, thank you very much for your ride on. Right, half an hour to go. Louis, I'll have to set it up on my next live stream. I've not worked out what to do yet because I've never done it before. So I will try and get it sorted out.
Right on!
Schofield, thanks for the ride on.
Nice!
You stink!
Yeah, it's not a good smell now. It's getting worse. Heart rate 149, so gradually increasing now as we get towards the last 3 kilometres of the run. Starting to work a bit harder, pushing the pace a bit more, still climbing at 8% elevation, 8% up Ventop. This is the first run up Ventop from any Zwifter, as far as I'm aware. Unless you know somebody who's done it. Chef Solid says he's avoiding riding up it at the moment, so I've done a few hills in my time, Chef Solid, so it's not too bad. You'll notice I've been keeping heart rate fairly steady, nice and low. just pushing the pace a little bit in the last 3 kilometers because I want to try and get there before 3 hours. So 2 hours 59 would be lovely if we can do that. Currently not quite on course, I need to speed up a bit more. Stephen Smith's going to do the Wednesday waddle at 10:30 AM UK time. Good luck, Stephen. Enjoy that. So we can see the summit in the distance there, shrouded in grey cloud. And there's 18 kilometers done. So let's increase the pace now. Okay, so going at this pace for the last 3 kilometers will just scrape us in just under 3 hours. So I've got to keep at this pace. 3 kilometers to go. Louis, yes, that'd be great. If you could put that link in the stream, that'd be awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Actually, maybe it won't. No, I need to speed up a bit more. Oh dear. That's annoying. Daphne, I've got about 23 minutes left to run. I want to try and get this climb done in just under 3 hours. So 23 minutes from now I'll be finished. Well, finished the running anyway. And then we're going to cycle all the way down. Hopefully it'll be freewheeling all the way. According to my Zwift companion app, I've climbed 1,413 meters now. So it's going to be a little over 1,500 meters for the full climb at 8%. Thinking about it, Louis, you might not be able to put a URL link in the comments. It might not work. It might chuck you out. Yeah, looking at the time, I think I am going to have to speed up a bit more in the last 1 or 2 kilometers. But that's all right, plenty in the tank, only 150 beats per minute heart rate. We're okay. We can push a couple of kilometers at the end. 20 minutes to go. If you're just tuning in towards the end of this run, thanks for joining me. I'm watching Facebook chat, I'm watching YouTube chat, and also Twitch chat. This is the Zwift live run. No, the Zwift Run Live YouTube channel. The Film My Run Facebook page. Live on the Zwift Runners Facebook page as well. Climbing Ventop in France on Zwift. First time ever. No one's done this before. 21 kilometres. We're currently at 18.5 kilometres, so we have 2.5 to go. It's so easy to get set up with Zwift running. Here's what you need. Firstly, access to a treadmill. It could be at home or at the gym, but any treadmill will work with Zwift. To get you moving in game, we need a speed source. Traditionally, we use a foot pod, like the Zwift Pod or the Stride. But you can also use the Run Smart treadmill sensor, your Apple Watch, one of the newer Garmin watches, the TSS app, and if you have a smart treadmill, your treadmill will connect directly to Zwift without the need for another device. Now simply download the Zwift app onto a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. Finally, pair your speed source in the app. Pairing heart rate from your watch or a chest strap is also a great addition to Zwift. And that's it. You're all set up for solo runs, solo or group workouts, challenges and real-time racing on Zwift with people from all over the world. Okay, starting to feel like I'm working now. That's pretty good, seeing as we're on almost 19 kilometres now. So it's been 18 kilometres of easy running, and now we're just working a bit harder to try and get in the next 17 minutes. On any normal day, 17 minutes to do 2 kilometres would be easy. Louis, just put the link on the last video I've done. The last video on the Zwift Run Live YouTube channel, whichever one the last one is. Right, we're still at 8% elevation, but we're now at 9 kilometres an hour. 9 kilometres an hour for the last 14 minutes of this run. Try and get us to the top. 2 kilometres from here. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. Heart rate 157. Climbing now.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Mills, thank you for your ride on. "13 minutes to go." Neck is hurting. Probably because I hunch my shoulders up too much when I'm running. Got bad form.
Right on.
Brent, thanks for the ride on. Okay, now we are approaching zone 4 now. Heart rate zone 4 is 158 BPM. So we might hit that before the end. Well, there we are, 158. One and a half kilometres to go to the summit. Trying to do it in under 3 hours. 8% elevation. Paul Hayward says the views look good. Yes, Jam Donut says, well done Stephen, amazing effort, thank you.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Peter Barlow, thank you very much for your ride on. Right, in a minute you need to look out for this monument to Tom Simpson. Hopefully we'll see it. Cheers, Darren.
Thank you.
Heart rate 161, working much harder now to try and get under 3 hours for this run. Up Von 2. I've climbed 1,540 metres now. And I think there's the memorial on the right hand side. No! Don't turn around. Oh, that's annoying. That's lost me a few seconds, hasn't it? I was trying to see the memorial. There it is. There's the memorial. Tom Simpson Memorial, 1 kilometre from the finish. Louis, if I'm honest, I don't know. You'll have to look him up on Google. Eight minutes to go. Glad I got it for you, Christoph. That is where Tom Simpson died during the Tour de France. Do you know what year it was, Christoph? Seven minutes to go. So should do it in with a minute to spare, hopefully. If you've not subscribed already, please do. Zwift Run Live channel. So Tom Simpson died on the Tour de France in July 1967 at that point. So 500 metres to the half marathon point. I've got about 5 minutes to go, I think, to the finish line. Another mountain bike route there, look. Potential mountain bike route. Oh, come on. 400 metres to the half marathon point. Well, 500 maybe. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you.
Look, there's the Com finish line just up ahead. should do it in under 3 hours now. Oh, thank you very much, Jam Donut. Cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Come on, heart rate. There's 21k. Jess Dixon says, way to go, Stephen, almost there. And Louis says, do not give up. All the way. Here we go. There's the finish. There's the view from the top. There's the finish line. We've done it in under 3 hours. Oh yeah. Right, elevation down to 0. Oh, so good. It's amazing, it feels like I'm running downhill. Now I've put the elevation to 0. Incredible. So I set myself a target of 21.3 kilometres. So we're now going to run down a little loop at the top, and then I'll get on the bike. Oh. Well, I really enjoyed that actually, that was great. So down to 0 now on the bike, 9 kilometres an hour. 10 kilometres an hour just to get round this loop. Jam Donut, thank you, says congratulations. Oh, Louis, that's so kind of you. So, some good views. Almost like a moon landscape up here. So total climb was, for me, was 1,642 metres. I think that's a little higher than the actual elevation of the mountain. I think the mountain is 1,500 and something. So we did a little bit more elevation than was required. But there we are, that's okay, isn't it? And this is a nice big loop to go around. We add an extra 5k on going around this loop. So yeah, I'll run round the loop. Although it seems to be taking an awful long time to get around this loop. Like I say, it's probably another 3k, 4k round the loop. For goodness sake. So you think you're finished when you get to the top, but oh no. You've got another 3 kilometres round the loop at the top to do. I could just stop and get on the bike now, couldn't I? But it would be nice to run the whole thing. So let's do that. I know it means you having to watch for a little bit longer, but I will run around the whole thing and then I'll get on the bike. EPK, thanks for the ride on. Oh, come on, I'm getting sick of this. Yeah. So that's 22 kilometres done, 3 hours and 3 minutes. Another good view there, look. Right, I need to find a way to angle the camera so that it points at the bike. There's not going to be an awful lot to watch because it's just going to be me running down the hill. Cycling down the hill, rather. How long is it going to take me to freewheel down the mountain? Right, that's it. That's it for the run. So, if you want to go now, please feel free. I might nip into the kitchen and get myself another drink quickly before I come out to the bike. Is that all right? Bear with me 2 seconds while I get another drink. Right, so we need to sort this out, don't we? So, fingers crossed. So let's go to pair, and let's go to ride. I need to swap a few things over, so bear with me. Oh, by the way, so, oh, hang on a minute. There we are. 1,642 kilometres on Zwift. No, 1,642 metres climbed. Okay, camera, hang on. That's probably the best I can do, guys, for the in terms of the camera. And I need to keep it on one picture, don't I? Let's have it. Let's have it on that one, and just keep it on that one. I can't press any buttons either. Cycling shoes, although I don't really need cycling shoes, do I? Because I'm just going to be freewheeling. Right, I also can't really see chat because chat is all the way on the camera up there somewhere, so I can't really see that. Right, I need to pair things. Right, guys, I'm really sorry, but chat, I just don't think I can see it. Right, I don't know if we're just going to be able to freewheel this whole way down. Just freewheeling, guys. Daphne says I did great, thank you. It's really hard to see the screen up there though for chat, I'm sorry. I'm just hoping I don't have to do any cycling. I'm literally just whizzing down the mountain. But I'm not actually earning any drops, am I? Look, Paul Haywood, thank you for the ride on. So look at my, actually, that's interesting because I've got no drops dropping at all. So even though I'm doing 66 kilometers an hour and I am covering distance because I'm freewheeling, I think it means I'm not getting any drops. Look, yes, because when I start pedaling, I start racking up the drops, the drop points. Interesting. Four kilometers done, 18 to go to the bottom. Thank you, Tim. I've just leaned over and read your message. Yeah, it does seem like I have to spin, doesn't it? I was hoping just to freewheel and get a load of free XP points, but it doesn't look like that happens, so I do have to spin. Heart rate down to 117. 92 RPM on the legs, 5 kilometers done. Kilometers done. Louis wants me to go to the marina sprint. No! I hope you're joking. I am cycling to the bottom of this hill, and then I'm getting off the bike and I'm going for a long shower. I am not doing the marina sprint. I know it's not very long, but I haven't got it in my legs tonight. I'm not a cyclist, I don't cycle very often. Seven kilometers done. I ran up all this. Mad, isn't it? Thanks for the ride-ons, drop in Lucas. Okay, so Nick Lawson says you get XP points, but you don't get drops. So if you freewheel, you would still get XP points, which is what I thought. I thought you did. But you don't get drops if you don't pedal. So we better pedal, really. Oh yeah, look, there's 10 XP points. So yeah, you do get XP points, you just don't get the drops. Actually, what we'll do, just to double check that, we'll get to 9k and then I'll freewheel this 10k, this next kilometre. If I freewheel from here, So what we're hoping is that by the end of this kilometre, I'll get some XP points, but no drops. See, the drops aren't going up, but hopefully 6, 9.7, 9.8. Right, will we get 10 XP points here? 20 XP points, look at that. Okay, so yeah, we did get the points. 10k done, 10k to go. Just over. So at the bottom of my screen, you'll see the ride-ons that have been given to me on the left, 100 and whatever it is, with the orange thumb, and on the right is the number of ride-ons that I've handed out to other people, which is not very many, because I've been busy working. But normally at the end of a group run, I will hand out a bunch of ride-ons to the other runners in the workout, and that will be counted on the right hand side with the pink thumb. Ride-ons given by me. "12 kilometres done. Not far now. It's a lot quicker going down than it is going up, isn't it? Vidar says he's just bought a Wahoo Kicker Core. Nice one. That's wheel on, isn't it? So make sure you get a decent tyre that doesn't shred everywhere for that back wheel, because they do tend to spray rubber all over the place, those wheel-on trainers. Oh, I'm not wearing a cycle helmet. If I come off this bike, I'm going to get seriously hurt, aren't I? Not good. Yeah, Lowell Monster confirms what we all knew. No drops when you don't push the watts. Denard, thank you very much for your ride on. Cheers, buddy. 6k to go. Right, if you're watching and you haven't given me a ride on, I've got 191 ride-ons. I need 9 more ride-ons to get to 200 ride-ons. That would be quite cool, but we've only got about 4k to do it in, so I'm not sure we'll get there. But it would be nice, so if you haven't given me a ride-on and you're watching this, log on to your Zwift companion app and find my name, Stephen Cousins, currently riding. Thank you, C. Drew. Drop me a ride on. See how close we can get to 200 ride-ons for this evening. Steve McPherson, thank you very much, buddy. 3.5k left. So we ran all the way up. C. Beale, thank you. We ran all the way up Ventop. And let's make sure we go Mont Saint-Michel. $18 kilometres done, 3 to go. Jay Huber, thanks for the ride on. Oh, come on, only about 5 or 6 more to go. Anyone who's not dropped me a ride on now. Last 3 kilometres. Herman, thank you very much for the ride on. Cheers, buddy. We have run all the way up. See Walters, thank you. All the way up Ventop in France and cycled all the way down. And I thought I was going to be able to freewheel all the way down and get a load of free points. Matthews, thanks for the ride on, but no. I've even had to cycle. I've even had to push the pedals going downhill. How annoying is that? I think we made it to 200. That's pretty awesome. Thank you, guys. 2k to go. Thank you, Louis, for pointing that out. Oh no, look, Marina sprint reverse. Louis, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. No. There's the lighthouse in the distance. Well, that was a very satisfying evening's entertainment. What for me, and I hope it was for you. Ace Ventura, Buenaventura, thank you very much for your ride on, buddy. Just 1 kilometre now back to the start line where we started some 3.5 hours ago, climbing up France Ventop mountain, which is the biggest mountain on Zwift now. We ran up there, took 3 hours to get to the top, 8% incline on the treadmill, and then once we were at the top, got on the bike and we've cycled down to the bottom. And that's been awesome. Really, really good. But I'll be taking it easy tomorrow, that's for sure. Here we go. Coming up to the finish. Simon Funnel, thank you very much for your ride on. That is it. We're done. I am not doing the Marina Sprint reverse. Oh, I've gone off anyway. That's all right. There we are. I'm pretty sure you do not get a badge, an achievement badge for coming down the hill, so I'm not going to worry about that. Right, let's get back over to where I'm comfortable. Done. Okay, that's it. Juan Munoz says, I just got inspired and went and bought a treadmill to start running on Zwift. Juan from Guatemala. Nice one, my friend. Okay, we are done. That is it. I'm totally done in now. I'm going to have a long shower. I will be on tomorrow. I'll do Wednesday workout tomorrow, but it won't be quick. I'll do a nice slow one, nice easy one, and then we'll have a good blast, a good fast blast at the Spanish 5K tomorrow. So that's it. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for all your conversation on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for all the ride-ons. 211 ride-ons, guys. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. So we'll see you tomorrow for another Zwift Run Live. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.